It's time for Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN as we welcome you to Hattiesburg, Mississippi and Roberts Stadium. The Texas State Bobcats in town still looking for their first win in Sunbelt Conference play. The Southern Miss Golden Eagles atop the Western Division standings with a 2-game lead thanks to some help on Thursday night. More on that later in the broadcast. We welcome you inside our broadcast booth. I'm Jason Baker alongside my color analyst Austin Davis. And AD, for this ball game, it's a team that has flipped the script in the Golden Eagles. Texas State, they've been a little off script on this start of the season. Yeah, it's really a tale of two different ball clubs going in different directions. Southern Miss go out and hire Charles Huff, completely turn the program around. They're in the lead in the West right now. And then Texas State, it's a good football team that have lost some close games. They do not have a conference win, so they're really fighting for their lives. There is a matchup inside this matchup we're looking forward to today. Bo Sparks is the wide receiver for the Texas State Bobcats. He's been targeted a lot, Austin. Yeah, 5'11", 177 pounds, super quick, gets in and out of his cuts, and creates a lot of separation at the top of his routes. But the man who will guard him had 3 picks a week ago in a big-time matchup against Corey Rucker, Mr. Moten. I thought Josh Moten was the #1 transfer portal guy that Huff went out and brought into Southern Miss. This is a Sunday player right here. Top 5, top 10, depending on what websites you read, corner in the coming draft, and just a great player. Can't wait to watch this matchup. Those 5 interceptions you see, they lead the country. G.J. Kinney, he's a guy you once dueled with inside this stadium at Roberts Stadium. He knows offense. Yes, he does. We've got a lot of history back in my day when he was playing at Tulsa. Loved going against him. Well, didn't really love going against him, but knew we had to score a lot of points to beat him. Southern Miss will be no different today. It's going to be the Bobcat offense. That is what they are known for. They are the best in this league, Austin. And G.J. Kinney's going to put his offensive unit out first. They won the toss and elected to receive today. Well, that's your first sign of an offensive head coach. He believes in his offense, wins the toss. Let's go score, get ahead, and stay ahead. He loves his quarterback. It's Brad Jackson. Matter of fact, he witnessed him in a camp, watched him make one throw, said the offer came immediately after that. That was Sparks in motion. Jackson can do this. He can run up to the 30-yard line before he is dropped down by Mike Montgomery, one of the tackling linebackers for this Golden Eagle defense. And it's all tempo for Texas State. Watch how fast they play. They're going to give it to Lincoln Perry. He is a workhorse, a veteran presence, had 10 carries a week ago for 89 yards and a 3-point loss to Louisiana. Bobcats out with an extremely up-tempo start. It is Bo Sparks with the reception as he works against Josh Moten. Long throw for Brad Jackson to the far side of the field. Yeah, quarters coverage for Southern Miss. No flat defender, good read. And they are flying on offense. Second and short, quickly, Lincoln Perry has it ahead near the midfield stripe here at the Rock. It creates so much difficulty for the defense. Not only do they have to be in such good shape, but they have to get their calls quicker than they have all season. Brad Jackson tall in the pocket, will dump it off. It is Lincoln Perry with the reception, chopped down by Ian Foster, the nickelback who had a pick in that win over Arkansas State on the road a week ago. Yeah, Ian Foster player's going to be all over the field for Southern Miss tonight from that nickel spot. It is 2nd down and 5, ball at the 46. Lincoln Perry gets outside, inside the 40-yard line, where he's upended at the 35-yard line. What's the secret to coming out in a game and being in this sort of tempo rhythm to start? Well, you practice it every day. When you're a no-huddle offense and you want to play with tempo, everything you do is with tempo. It's almost like the way you eat in the lunchroom is tempo. The way you go to meetings is tempo. You have to buy into it in every aspect, and then it shows up on the field, and they are playing fast. Well, they really are. They have came out with the foot on the throttle. Handoff, Lincoln Perry zone, straight up the middle, down to the 32-yard line is where he'll be. There's a couple nuances to it that if you pay attention, you'll notice, but they'll always take the ball to the official. They'll never lay the ball on the ground. That helps them play faster as well. Looking to throw downfield. Brad Jackson will tuck it under, wrestled down from behind Mason Clinton. With Brad Jackson on the turf.
So he's looking for the official. That helps the official mark the ball. A lot of nuance to a no-huddle offense. For the reason, not only are they number 1 in the Sun Belt, they're number 11 in the country.
See what they've done on third downs this season, 47.7% of the time, a conversion rate. Perry is out of the backfield. They're going to go empty for the first time. That's Greg Burrell, who was motioned out. Trips to the far side. Sparks is the man to watch at the far side of the formation. Backside blitz. And it was a football that is picked up. Mike Montgomery is rumbling and stumbling inside the 30. Bo Sparks will have him wrestled down. The call on the field is a fumble. There is a penalty flag on the field, all the way back on the near sideline at the 32-yard line.
Let's take a look. There's a lot to unpack here. Uncovered off the right side, just a miscommunication up front. And I don't know if his hand's going forward or not. But we had no safeties in the middle of the field. Let's take a look.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline interference. Assistant coach for Southern Miss. 15-yard penalty, first down and 10.
It's our referee, Tim Barker.
I don't know. The way the ball traveled forward, it makes you think it's a forward pass, but that ball can bounce in funny ways sometimes.
Sure can.
Let's take a look.
So why uncovered from the backside? Nobody slid the protection that way, it appears.
Well, I think Southern Miss was confused. They were running into each other, D-line, linebackers. They were confused, trying to adjust to empty. Empty sometimes will create some issues for a defense. They had no safety in the middle of the field. It was either an all-out blitz that they called, which I don't think it was, but they had 6 guys up there, and you only got 5 offensive linemen in empty, so if they're bringing everybody, you don't have enough. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there's Mike. I think he's going to – that ball's going forward.
Yeah, it is. It appears that –
After video review, the ruling is an incomplete pass.
They got that
the
right.
The 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic first down, Texas State.
That's the part that's tough. The penalty infraction that occurred, which was contact with the official by an assistant coach. So what would have been a 4th down is now going to be an automatic first down for Texas State. So a massive swing of events for the Texas State Bobcats. And you feel like a team that's still looking for win number 1 in Sun Belt Conference play. It's opportunities like these early they must take advantage of it. They're going to be successful.
Yeah, you got to score points in the red zone. But I'll tell you one thing. If I was an assistant coach that got a penalty, I wouldn't want to be in Charles Huff's team meeting this week.
I'd be in the Duff Center. In the
it happens. It happens. In fact, I did it on the high school side this year. I got a penalty. I felt terrible. But
contact official.
I ran all the way down to the end zone and celebrated with my player.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Not allowed, so.
Highly frowned upon, actually.
Yeah, but I was bringing the energy. Southern Miss showing a too-high shell.
It is a give. Banging his way forward. That was Greg Burrell, the 217-pound sophomore transfer out of UNLV. It was Jameer Lewis, by the way, that had the pressure on Brad Jackson. Here's a good stand on the run defense. It's Jameer Lewis once more with a tackle behind the line of scrimmage. He's a holdover from a year ago.
I feel like that's probably one of the biggest improvements you can see here. A couple Golden Eagles in on the tackle. There comes Chris Jones. The biggest improvement the Southern Miss team has made from a year ago is the defensive line. They've played well up front, allowed them to really, this turnaround has been a lot of what they've done.
Brad Jackson brings a man, that's Burrell in motion. Gonna dump it off, checking it down to his tight end. He was going to Titus Lyons, the 5th-year senior. He played that masterfully. The Bobcats gonna have to settle for 3.
Yeah, good job. I believe it was Amir Foster that came up. There he is. Great base, great shoulder tackle. One is leverage. Love secondary players that like to get involved down in the box and make tackles.
Tyler Robles on the season, 87.5% on field goal tries. Good snap. And this one, Drew, up and through the uprights at Roberts Stadium. We're stepping away. We'll find out who's playing QB in just a moment for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles when we return. One of the underlying stories of this ball game today, who will be the quarterback for the Golden Eagles when they take to the offense? Braylon Braxton, you see there dressed out for the Southern Miss Golden Eagles, went through his warm-up routine. There is a lot of anticipation with a 2-game lead in the West. It's going to be Landry Liddy here this afternoon. We're going to see that officially here in a few moments, Austin.
Yeah, Braylon Braxton's dressed out, so that lets you know he's probably the backup, probably sitting at 70, 80%. He's got something going on with his knee. And I think this says a couple different things. I think that the coaching staff at Southern Miss believes in Landry Liddy. Came in last week, did a nice job. They were not winning, Southern Miss, last week when he came in the game, and it ends up leading them to victory. So I do believe that they believe in what Landry Liddy has done in practice and preparation. Trust me, I've been there. No harder job than the backup quarterback. You got to be ready, and we'll see if he is today.
Michael James kickoff goes
kickoff out of bounds. Kicking team. If I roll the ball, be placed at the 35-yard line. First down, Southern Miss.
So Michael James hooks it out of bounds on his opening kickoff. Landry Liddy inserted into the ball game a week ago. Down 7-3 to the Golden Eagles on a drive that was capped off by a Landry Liddy touchdown run of 12 yards.
Wouldn't be surprised to see, you can see his stats there for really that's last ball game. Went 5 for 8 and a touchdown. But I think what you're going to see here is try to get him in a rhythm, something easy, something to get him in the groove. Don't ask too much of him too early.
He's a talented youngster, highly recruited over to Louisiana Tech out of high school. He was Mr. Louisiana in football out of high school. Likes this guy, Elijah Metcalf. He caught a 76-yard touchdown reception from him on a screen last week in the win over Arkansas State.
Yeah, there's that motion, bubble, just a swing pass, catch, throw, really no read. Just get the ball out of your hand. Now I'm 1 for 1. Feel better. Here's another one.
Right back to Metcalf. Made one man miss. He has got a lot of speed. He'll be bumped out of bounds along the 49-yard line.
Talk about Texas State and their struggles. As good as they are on offense, it's been the defensive side of the ball that's really caused some problems. Somewhere in the, what was it, 124th ranked scoring defense. So got to figure out the defensive side of the football.
They're without a couple of starters today due to the enforced suspension from the league office. The most notables on the defensive line. They're without Tymir Jackson. Started the last 8 games on the defensive line. He's going to be serving a 2-game suspension. The rest of the other 5 Texas State Bobcat players each serving a game each. So Landry Liddy 2 for 2 to begin the ball game for 16 yards. Dropping back, gonna fire this. He has got arm talent. Kyron Heath, did he get it inbounds? He did, right to the 40-yard line. It's gonna be a yard shy of the first down, but it's a 3rd and 1.
And here you can really see the arm talent here. Liddy's backing up opposite hash and throws the ball all the way to the sideline, and Heath goes and makes a play. There's the arm talent that you're looking for.
Kyron Heath's opportunities are increasing. Caden Morris is hurt as Matt Jones gets his first carry of the ball game. Inside the 40-yard line he goes, down to the 37.
Southern Miss going to play with that same tempo that Texas State plays with on offense. Very similar systems. Unless you sub. And then it slows down.
And then, you know, these defenders now, used to you raced off the field. That's not the case anymore. Tyshawn Chapman takes it on a sweep off the right side, and he's got a first down for Southern Miss.
Yeah, that's just too easy. Look at the top of your screen. There's no one to set the edge for Southern Miss. That's unabated 10, 12 yards around the right side.
Play action pass. Liddy gonna throw it. Look at him toss it out. Carl Chester trying to go up to make the reception. No penalty flags on the field. They're just gonna call it incidental contact. And the ball falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Let's take a look here. It was some contact right there. I mean, tough to say. I call it good coverage.
That's what was called on the field by the Sun Belt Conference officiating crew. 2nd and 10 at the 25. That is Metcalf in motion. It's Jeffrey Pittman's first carry the football game. He outruns a tackle. Here he comes across the field, and he'll be dropped. Boy, that was trying to make something out of nothing. But a man in the middle had other plans for Texas State coming up to make that stop.
A good effort here, but right there, get upfield. Just maybe one too many dance moves right there by Pittman. Did a nice job escaping the first, but at some point, you got to get north and get positive yardage.
That was Terrence Cooks the second, the former TCU Horned Frog, making the stop. It's 3rd and 10. That's Chapman in motion. Pittman, counter play. Goes inside the 20 and lost the football. A turnover by the Golden Eagle offense, and the Bobcats have recovered inside the 15-yard line. Well, the Golden Eagle defense felt like they got a win on the opening drive, holding it only to a field goal. Bobcats feel the same. They create a turnover. We'll be back with more Sun Belt Conference football. know what helps on the road? Avoiding turnovers, which the Bobcats did offensively on their first drive. What also helps is getting turnovers on the road. How about this little nugget? That fumble recovery for the Texas State Bobcat defense, their first fumble recovery of the year.
Wow, that says a lot. If you're struggling on defense, it's probably because you're not creating any turnovers. So big play right there by the Bobcats.
So we watched them come out in an Indy-type tempo. It was quick, quick, quick. So they got near the red zone area. They did benefit from the overturn on Brad Jackson on the sack where the ball had popped loose. Lincoln Perry with a nice run. Out to the 24 near first down.
It's almost like they know the play they're about to run, the second play.
Well, they're going to run the same play. Lincoln Perry chooses to backdoor this time across the 30 and out to the 33-yard line. Well, it does help the helmet-to-coach communication at the moment.
Yeah, that changes things. The signal is less.
You didn't have that in college.
No.
It's got to be a unique change to have a coordinator in your ear. So what, I guess the first time you ever heard a coach's voice in your head, your first series in the NFL?
Yeah, we were all signals, which now they're still signaling, but they're only signaling to the receivers, and the quarterback's responsible for the offensive line and the running back because they're all right there near. So they get lined up. He walks up, makes the call. The receivers get the signal so they can go ahead and line up. That's what allows them to play so much faster.
Jackson going to drop it out. Greg Burrell is hurdling a man. Mike Montgomery ushers him out of bounds.
Running back in the flat. It's right there. Whoop! There's no shortage of talent on this offense.
So they can certainly do it. Burrell with a carry. He goes bouncing off some Golden Eagles up near to the midfield stripe. This offense is not just air raid. It's not just with the arm talent of Brad Jackson. They're balanced. They're the second best rushing attack in the Sun Belt Conference, along with the second best passing attack. Here's Bo Sparks. He can fly and be bounced out of bounds at the 40-yard line. G.J. Kinney told me it's real speed, 300 meters from Bo Sparks.
Yeah, and there's a way to get him the ball, just a quick wide receiver screen. Yeah, and I think speaking about the spread, no huddle, one of the biggest misnomers is that it's a passing attack.
First charge timeout, Southern Miss.
The best spread teams, they're actually spreading you out to run it.
More on that to come from Hattiesburg today at M.M. Roberts Stadium. Bobcats trying to go up 2 scores. We'll be back. of a wild start to this one. You had a turnover negated, the replay confirmed and affirmed. The call on the field for Brad Jackson on the opening drive for the Bobcats. They converted a field goal to have their only points. Southern Miss on their opening drive, first turnover of the year. First one on an opening drive, a lost fumble by Jeffrey Pittman. First fumble recovery for Texas State. They've run 17 plays for 100 total yards in this moment. They look impressive on offense, though.
Yeah, you really have a contest of two really good offenses. So it's who can outscore who. And possessions are a big part of that. So every turnovers always really matter. But especially in this game when both offenses can put points on the board quickly.
A tight formation with two tight ends. You don't see this much in a Kinney offense. Greg Burrell takes it down. Burrell had a nice performance earlier this year. 13 carries for 136 yards and a touchdown against Troy. Brad Jackson pulls, keeps himself for just a couple. You see, right, the play selection, you were alluding to it before the break. Maybe the misnomer of spread offenses and up-tempo offenses is they only want to throw it. Most of them truly want to be a balanced attack.
Yeah, you have to run the ball to be good on offense. At some point, the passing game is just going to be a little off. What about rain? What about wind? It just sometimes doesn't click, and you've always got to be able to fall back on that run game.
Bo Sparks on a drag across the middle. We'll have it inside the 10-yard line. It's a red zone opportunity for Texas State.
And there's his favorite target again. Sparks coming across the middle on a shallow route. I love the creativity of how you get him the ball. It's hard to get somebody 10 catches a game because the defense knows that's who you're trying to throw it to, but they move him around, different routes. They don't allow you to double team him.
Blake Smith, the tight end. How about a shovel pass over to Chris Dawn Jr., who will be dropped inside the 5. Ian Foster makes the tackle.
Yeah, pop pass jet sweep to the edge.
Greg Burrell with a carry left tackle side. Golden Eagle run defense has been tough this season against the run. 6th best in the conference in rush defense. Just 162 yards a game allowed.
Yeah, and this is the game for Southern Miss on defense. You're going to give up yards. They're too good on offense. They're going to move the ball. But if you can hold them to field goals and then you can outscore them on the other side, that'll be the difference.
Javon Tapp checks out on the defensive line. In comes Jabari Ishmael. Brad Jackson wants to change the play. Down in the south end zone. Design quarterback run. Brad Jackson reaches out. They have marked one official short. One comes from the far side indicating touchdown. And the Bobcats have points once more in Hattiesburg.
Let's take a look at this touchdown play. They're in open spread. Really can't see it, but spread everybody out. Create a one-on-one. Let's see if he got to the end zone before the knee hit. I don't think so. They'll probably, if they get a chance to review this, they'll bring it back. Looks like his knee hit before the ball extended across the plane. Right there.
Yeah, the right
clearly
knee was down before he got that outstretched arm.
Which was important because that brings up a 4th down decision for G.J. Kinney.
Tim Barker holding the play up for the booth review. Our referee today out of the Sun Belt Conference. They're going to look once more.
Pretty clear and obvious, but maybe they didn't have the angle that they wanted.
They're going to reset things. Touchdown will stand.
Wow. I think they missed that one.
Tyler Robles on to put the extra point try up and true. 10-0 Texas State. We're coming back to staying right here in Hattiesburg, rather, after the design run. So Brad Jackson, you can see, you kind of talked about the offense was spread out kind of really wide, sideline to sideline. Then all of a sudden Jackson, one drop, kind of reads where the backers were, and then he takes off. Right?
Yeah, so on defense, you're trying to reduce space. You're trying to get multiple guys to the point of attack. I've got inside leverage, you've got outside. It's hard to make two guys miss, right? Well, when you spread everybody out, even if you have a hat for a hat per se, like they did there, the linebacker was there, but it's still one-on-one. So now as a runner, hey, as a confident runner, what do you want? Hey, just give me one-on-one. I'll make the guy miss, right? You're not dealing with 2 or 3 different guys corralling you at one time. So that's what you're seeing with this spread run attack.
It'll be Michael James to kick off. After the field goal, he hooked one left out of bounds. Texas State, a red zone touchdown. They lead the Sun Belt Conference in red zone scoring. 39 of 43 entering today. They're 2 for 2. Taking it out, Micah Davis from the far side. We have penalty flags fly to the heart of the return. It was a nice return for Micah Davis across the 35, but it appears to be coming back a bit for the black and gold.
During the return, holding, return team, number 25, 10-yard penalty, first down.
That's a really big penalty for Southern Miss. It negates a nice return, kind of playing the field position game here.
Zach Ruffin up at the top of your screen was called for the hold.
It cost him about 20 yards or so. But this, if you're Texas State, this is exactly what you want. Okay, defense is struggling. You know that, but your offense is rolling. So you get ahead and you stay ahead and you never look back. Even if Southern Miss scores now, you've always got the lead. So you just stay on it on offense.
Landry Liddy was 3 for 4 on the opening drive for 26 yards. It was a fumble by Jeffrey Pittman. And the Golden Eagles give a handoff to begin this drive to Matt Jones up to the 20-yard line, no further, so no gain on the play. It's an offense without their leader in Braylon Braxton. But a talented backup transfer from UAB and Landry Liddy shovels a pass over the Golden Eagles. Going the wrong direction, a loss of a few here on Micah Davis.
This is a very important third down early in this game. You got a quarterback making his first start. You're backed up. You're down 10, 3rd and 12. Interested to see what this call will be.
Play action pass. Tall in the pocket. Right over the top of the backer. Tyshawn Chapman up across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, you got to grow up fast, kid. We're down 10. Let's go. You played a lot of college football. Nice read. Lays it over the linebacker. Typically, you teach quarterbacks, don't throw it over, guys. Throw it in windows. But on 3rd and 13, his team needs a first down. He said, I got that throw.
He was Mr. Football in Louisiana. Out of Calvary Baptist was Landry Liddy. The last quarterback to win Mr. Football from the Shreveport area was all the way back in 1999, a guy by the name of Brock Berlin. Considered one of the great throwers of the football at Evangel Christian High School. Andrew Liddy taking a shot downfield to Elijah Metcalf and overthrows him.
Texas State brings all-out pressure there. See it across the board. They were in man-to-man. Bring in 5. There's your 2 backers. There's no one in the middle of the field, but they're going to force you to throw it quickly and hope for an errant pass like they got.
How good have the Golden Eagles been in this 5-game win streak? They're down 10 today. It's the first time down 10 since at Louisiana Tech in that first road ball game of the season. A pass here tipped out of bounds, looking to go to Jeffrey Pittman. The back out of the backfield was Landry Liddy, and it's another 3rd down opportunity for the Golden Eagle offense. Excuse me, 4th down.
They go quick.
They do. They are.
You will forget what down it is.
They are in today's game.
It happens. Oh, man.
Reed Harradine angles a punt at the 21. Bo Sparks going to pick it up. He was initially dropped, stayed up, and then dropped once more. Joseph Harper makes the tackle at the 13-yard line. But the Bobcat offense has got another first quarter possession. Austin with 10 seconds left this opening quarter. And this is sort of what you were referencing, the start that they wanted. A 2-possession lead at the moment. Now it's just put the pedal to the metal if you're G.J. Kent.
Yeah, I'm kind of sitting here going, are we sure this is a 0-5 team in Sun Belt play? I mean, that's not the team we're seeing here today. But, you know, looking over their schedule, and this is the point we made in the opener, they lose to Arkansas State by a point. Then they lose back-to-back games in overtime. Lose to James Madison pretty handedly, but they're the touch of the class. They're as good as it gets in Sun Belt. And then lose to Louisiana by 3. So they've been in games. Don't let their record fool you. This is a good football team.
Titus Lyons in motion. Lincoln Perry with a carry. The handoff will end the opening quarter. Jameer Lewis with another stop for this Golden Eagle defense.
This is the end of the first quarter.
And a quarter in the books. It couldn't have gone better for Texas State. For Southern Miss, they've got some figuring out to do, but that man's done it well all season long. We'll see what's on tap in the second quarter. Six meeting all time between these institutions. It'll be the last within a conference of Sun Belt. Texas State is leaving, headed to the Pac-12 is where they're going to go play their football from here on. It's been a wild series, by the way. 50-plus points 3 times Texas State has scored in the series.
Yeah.
They're on that kind of pace today.
Yeah, they really are. They've been really a Sun Belt conference foes. And really, been a really good team. I think this year's an outlier for them. And I didn't even know the Pac-12 still existed.
Well, it's kind of formulating.
Yeah. It's a formality this year.
It's a touch and go situation. And right now, it's just touch and go. Yeah. Speaking of go, that's what the Bobcats have done through a quarter of play. 24 plays in the opening quarter. Brad Jackson scampering around up to the 19-yard line.
Does enough with his legs, doesn't he? I mean, you know he can throw the football, but he does a great job on the perimeter. Just, hey, I'm going to go get 5 here. I'm going to keep the offense moving forward.
He's not going to beat you with his feet, but he's going to keep drive alive to be able to do it with his arm.
Yeah, now he's got his team to a 3rd and 5 rather than a 3rd and 10.
See what Jason Seymour cooks up here. Look at this. No backers at the second level, trying to change the picture to Brad Jackson. He's going to bounce it outside and be near the first down. A heads-up play, got it by half a yard. Up to the 24-yard line goes Brad Jackson.
Yeah, just an opening, right? Southern Miss not disciplined in their rush lanes, and Jackson takes it right away. Decisive decision-making. Hey, I know I can go get the first with my feet. I'm going to get it.
Kind of one of those plays, you just never know how big that conversion could be.
So big. 3rd and 5, backed up on your own 20-yard line, and your quarterback they played man. Southern Miss played man, so he knows he's got the run lanes.
Josh Moten in the shadows guarding Bo Sparks. It's a give to Lincoln Perry. Ahead for 11 yards. They're wanting to pick that rhythm back up. It's an offensive line today without Justin DeLeon, serving the 1-game suspension put on by the Sun Belt Conference. Ball came loose at the end of the run, but they rule him down on the turf as Chris Dolan Jr.
Down by rule, first down.
Product out of Mesquite Horn High School.
Let's take a look there. Yeah, ball definitely down, but
Brad Jackson will toss to Bo Sparks to the 40.
Illegal substitution, more than 11 players. Defense, the penalty will be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
You know what playing fast also does? Makes your substitutions hard.
Especially in today's world, too. You see these combo units where they'll take one defensive line, get that line off, and a whole fresh 4 or 5 members of that unit back onto the field. Practically makes it impossible against an up-tempo offense like this. Lincoln Perry goes right. Tackle was made by Mathis Hager. So 2nd and 7. This will be the 31st play of this ball game for Texas State. They've doubled up the number of plays ran by the Golden Eagle offense at this point.
More plays, more yards. That's the motto.
Greg Burrell motioned into the backfield. Brad Jackson looks for a screen. It is caught. Chris Dawn Jr. navigating through that secondary of the Golden Eagles.
Good read by Jackson. That's the swing screen to the right. You can see the end peel, so he comes back. He's got the tunnel screen back the other way. It's a double screen. Quarterback's got to read it, as he did perfectly.
How hard is that to take your eyes to one side of the field, and then it's a complete reversal, literally a 180 to the backside?
You know exactly where he's going to be, but one thing you do teach a quarterback on a screen like that is eyes before arm. You've got to see that throw before you cut it loose.
Second charge, timeout, Southern Miss.
Golden Eagles going to take a timeout. They want to talk about it. G.J. Kinney's offense rolling early here in Hattiesburg. Jason Seymour trying to duel. We'll talk about that relationship when we return. defensive coordinator Jason Seymour there talking with his defensive unit. He knows G.J. Kinney well. He was the outside linebackers coach while G.J. Kinney was playing quarterback at the University of Tulsa. G.J. said he gave one of the best pregame speeches I've ever heard as a player and a coach. They know each other well. They're dueling today. Two masterminds, one on offense, one on defense here this afternoon.
Yeah, coaches have to know their scheme, right? Of course, they have to know the scheme they want to teach, but they also have to motivate. And that's something that obviously if he gave the best pregame speech ever, he can do really well. They have to play hard for you.
Shovel to Bo Sparks. He's dropped for a loss. That's a nice tackle by Garrett Ponder, who stayed home.
Yeah, good job just staying home, top of your screen. That tackle block's down. How do I play it? Outside shoulder, play contain, and then make the play.
2nd and 15 on the loss of 5. Bunch to the bottom. That's Ian Foster. Lined up, head up. Quickly out to Lincoln Perry, and that's an incompletion.
Yeah, just a numbers game. They went 4-by-1 there. Motion the back out to the bunch.
That's Brad Jackson's first incompletion of the ball game. He was previously 11 for 11 prior to that incompletion.
In fuego.
Yeah, pretty good start.
Yeah, just darting the ball around.
He completed 78% of his passes a week ago against Louisiana. 26 of 33 for 360 in a loss. 3rd and 15. If you're the Golden Eagle defense, got to get off the field right here. Showing blitz. They're coming. Brad Jackson tosses it. And it's incomplete. Garrett Ponder affected the throw as well at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Southern Miss brings simulated pressure. They brought the backer, dropped out the defensive tackle, so it just creates a little confusion for the offense. They're not really bringing 5 or 6 guys, but they're bringing linebackers and dropping defensive linemen. Good call there by Seymour. Gets Southern Miss off the field on a big 3rd down, sets up a long 50-yard field goal.
Tyler Robles is 2 for 3 from this range on the year. Make it 3 for 4. Connects on the field goal for the Bobcats. 13-0 early on in the 2nd quarter. We'll be back to Roberts Stadium with much more. Bobcats couldn't have scripted a better start today into Berg, Austin for Southern Miss. This is gut check time. This is the offensive possession. I know it's 2 scores. I know it's 13-0, but it feels like a must score at the moment.
Yeah, you have to stop the bleeding. You're not playing a team that can't keep scoring points. So it's a team that knows they're good on offense. When they get ahead, it just gives them even more confidence. Now they feel like you can't catch them. It doesn't matter what happens on the other side. They're just going to keep scoring, and you'll never catch up. And then if they ever get 2 or 3 scores up, forget about it.
Michael James will send one 8 yards deep into the end zone. One thing about it, a good road start. You take the crowd out of it, the energy out of it. There's a good crowd at M.M. Roberts Stadium today. So you got to kind of create your own juice now if you're Southern Miss. You got to make sure to get on schedule in rhythm. For Landry, Liddy, and company, it's about, to me, 1st and 2nd down, being efficient there to set up manageable 3rd downs to sustain a drive.
Yeah, you just got to get something going. Got to get some rhythm. Got to try to find a way to at least get points. Love a touchdown, but got to get on the board.
Liddy threw for over 8,000 yards in his junior and senior year of high school. He goes tunnel screen. Elijah Metcalf, they scored on this play last week. Metcalf hidden down around the midfield stripe. A penalty flag comes in at the end of the play as well.
There were fouls by both teams on the play. Holding, offense number 67. Personal foul, face mask, defense number 17. Those fouls offset, 1st down.
So a replay of the downs. The foul was on Broderick Roman on the holding penalty. He's the veteran communicator. You see him discussing with the umpire. He has been a consistent performer of this offensive line.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I could see his hand movements. He said, I didn't hold him.
1st and 10. Robert Briggs for a few.
Yeah, really negated a nice play for Southern Miss on the tunnel screen.
Stack formation to the top. Liddy rolls right, releases. This is caught. Braylon Brown out of bounds near the 1st down marker. It's going to be a 3rd and short for this Golden Eagle offense.
One-on-one coverage, Braylon Brown. No underneath coverage, so perfect for a stop route. Sell the vertical, put the brakes on. All about the timing for the quarterback. Nice job by Landry Liddy getting the ball out on time.
He's working against the best corner in this secondary, Jaden Rios for the Bobcats. Handoff Jeffrey Pittman. A duck under and through for the 1st down underneath the tackle of Terrence Cooks, the 2nd.
So far, Texas State sound in the run game. That's the starting point. You want to fix the defense. Okay, we're having trouble giving up points. We got to stop the run first, and then we'll worry about the rest.
Blitz showing top of the formation. It's a handoff. Jeffrey Pittman lowers his shoulder. The Bobcats will harass him to the turf to the 39. See Landry Liddy kind of ready to run the play, kind of getting that offensive line set. Ball start on this Golden Eagle offense.
False start, offense number 62. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
Really the first thing we've seen right there. New quarterback, new cadence. Those are the things you really worry about. They've been listening to the way Braylon Braxton does it, all camp, whatever, every game. And then you can see the pre-snap penalty there. Hasn't been a lot of that, but you kind of figured it would show up.
Well, and there was a little sense of urgency. You could see kind of Landry Liddy was like ready to go. He was telling him to get down. Handoff Jalen Carter. He's dropped for a loss. Nice tackle made by Tadarius Collins. He's in place of Tymir Jackson. Best defensive lineman for the Bobcats.
Looked like maybe a misread there by Liddy. It was a power read. Running back's coming across, you're reading that play side in. If he squeezes down, you hand it off. But if he plays upfield, you actually pull it, run up the middle.
So it's 3rd and 16 facing Southern Miss at the moment. Last thing you want to do is give the football back to Texas State. Chapman's in motion. Liddy off his back foot, lets it go. Complete to Braylon Brown to the 42. Texas State will live with that. It'll set up a 4th and short. This Golden Eagle offense can't sustain the drive. They'll have to punt it away. Reed Harradine will do the honors. Wobbly punt, Bo Sparks is going to see it down. Thought about touching it, would rather not. It rolls out of bounds, and the Bobcat offense will return to the field. 13-0 Texas State, and they're getting the ball back. Little sense of urgency brewing in the Bird. Texas State offense has been rolling off, but really when you break it down, it's a 2-score game, 13-0. Golden Eagle defense has held them to 2 field goals and the 1 touchdown by Brad Jackson. But at a certain point, there's just this uneasiness feeling for the black and gold. How many opportunities are we going to get ourselves back into this ball game? Because, as you alluded to, it's a Texas State offense that certainly came in confident, and that has had nothing but that confidence level rise to the start of this ball.
Yeah, it's almost like stopping a LeBron James, if you will. You hear coaches say all the time, you're not going to stop LeBron James. You only hope to contain him. So for Southern Miss on defense, they're coming into this game expecting, hey, if we hold them to a few field goals, which they have, that the offense has now got to go out and outscore them. So defensively for Southern Miss, they knew what they were getting into. But offensively, got to figure out a way to move the ball and get points on the board.
The veteran presence of Lincoln Berry with the first carry. No gain on the play. It's the 3rd time this season Texas State has scored on their first 3 drives of the ball game. They did it against Nichols and Troy. Brad Jackson will move up on an awkwardly designed play up to the 18-yard line.
Yeah, a little misdirection there by the Bobcats on offense. Running backs going left, guard and tackle pulling right, just creating some confusion for the linebackers. Seemed really no one left in the hole there.
maybe as important of a third down as you'll find in this game. Field position purposes, a quick 3 and out would do wonders for this crowd at Roberts Stadium as well. Titus Lyons goes across the field. Brad Jackson, tall in the pocket, now fires complete into the open. Chris Dawn Jr. sprinting home as Chris Dawn Jr. will take it to the house. 82 yards on the strike from Brad Jackson.
Boy, oh boy. You look at that, it was man-to-man. Southern Miss goes man-to-man with two hole players, two safeties kind of hanging around. Boom, he wins across the middle. Those safeties are playing low, lurking for underneath, and Dawn just bang, right over the middle. He's got the speed to finish. Watch out, Texas State came to play today.
A 19-0 start. Quick booth review to make sure Chris Dawn Jr. had stayed in bounds, and he had. So Tyler Robles is on for the extra point try.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty. Reattempt to try.
Robles had actually doinked that extra point off the upright, but a false start. Give that number 2 golfer another chance to stripe it down the middle.
You don't really get second chances in golf, because if you did, I wouldn't be +7 or 8 or whatever.
Oh, is that what you're playing to?
That's a little aggressive.
Yeah.
I got down there at one point, but it's been a while.
Speaking of aggressive, G.J. Kinney on 3rd and 6 had dialed up the 82-yard touchdown strike from Brad Jackson to Chris Dawn Jr. Kinney went aggressive on that big 3rd down. And all of a sudden, you kind of said the safeties lurking low. They were looking. Jason Seymour was thinking, he's thinking conversion, get himself out of the shadow of the end zone.
Correct.
G.J. Kinney saying, hey, you know what? Instead of let's try to convert the first down, how about a touchdown?
Yeah, it was just really just good execution. That was not the first read. That was a big end cut, probably his 2nd or 3rd read. So that's really just good quarterback play. It's good protection for him to be able to get to the 3rd read. And then, again, I think sometimes your best chance to take a shot is on 3rd and manageable, medium, that 4, 5, 6 range. Just like you said, defense is thinking, hey, I got to call for the sticks. But the offense is saying, hey, let's go over the top.
Yeah,
so a little bit cat and mouse game. I love 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. Take a shot, right? Because they're thinking, hey, let's load the box, stop the run. No, I'm going to try to go score.
That's what happened for the Texas State Bobcats. It's a 20-0 lead. So this Golden Eagle club down by as many as they've been really since that La Tech ball game on the road. So you're facing your first adversity in about 6 weeks. As far as the deficit's concerned, you see Braylon Braxton. There just was an anticipation we were not going to see him today. It's been all Landry Liddy to this point. A transfer out of UAB. Had a conversation with Charles Huff yesterday. He recanted the story of Landry Liddy. Out of the transfer portal, Golden Eagles are taking a chance here. A penalty flag comes in the route as Micah Davis got tangled up with the corner. So Liddy gets into the portal.
Holding. Defense, number 18. 10-yard penalty, automatic. First down.
And there was no secret who was coming into Hattiesburg and Braylon Braxton. The conversation went with Blake Anderson and Charles Huff on the phone that his question back to them was, well, will you just allow me to compete for the job? They said, sure.
Absolutely.
He said, I'm your guy.
Absolutely. And I think that speaks well to both sides. You can't hand a position to anybody, and somebody that wants to compete, bring them in.
Swing pass to Jeffrey Pittman out of the backfield. See if Blake Anderson chooses tempo here for this Golden Eagle offense as it's spotted to the 46. Fresh out of town for the Golden Eagles. Pittman's 15th reception of the season. Straight ahead. There's Jeffrey Pittman to the 50. Me too, this Golden Eagle offense, you want to get them back in rhythm, back on schedule. Got to win first down, right?
Got to stay ahead of the sticks.
2nd and 6. Liddy under pressure, and this one's dropped. Braylon Brown was the intended target. Liddy was under a bit of pressure as well.
They really had it. It was spot route. They had a man over the ball. They had a man right there in the alley in between the hash and the numbers. And he's clicking through it. It was open, and it was open for a while. He just kind of late getting to it. And then the pressure got to him. So just got to process a little faster, get to that backside of that progression. And that ball was there. Or that route was open.
Shovel. This to Tyshawn Chapman, who picks up 2. Set up a 4th and 4. Golden Eagle offense. Gonna come off the field. The punting unit of Jack Marley coming on. Marley will angle this football away from Bo Sparks. It's received by Sparks at the 10. It'll be bumped out of bounds up across the 13, maybe even to the 14-yard line. Here with 4:31 to go in this second quarter, and Texas State gets the football right back.
Exercising a lot of patience right there, punting that ball away. 4th and 4. I get it. I'm an offensive guy. I get antsy.
You know,
it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no, I get it. For Blake, right? You're in Charles Huff. You're thinking it's still 3 scores. It doesn't feel that way. It does not feel good.
No. So it's uncomfortable for Southern Miss.
But it is.
Texas
It is
doing a wonderful job.
3 touchdowns. You have a 1-point lead now. If ifs and buts were candy, and you know what? Hand off to Greg Burrell off the right side. Texas State has busted a big play. It's who they are. Greg Burrell bumped out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
There goes Burrell off the right side. Just look, out of a gap, boom. And then the safety doesn't feel fast enough, and there he goes. Huge run play down the right sideline for Texas State.
61 yards. They are explosive offensively. I mean, all of a sudden, they were in the shadows of their own end zone. Here they are just 5 yards outside of the red zone of the Golden Eagles. Texas State having their way offensively at the moment. Lincoln Perry. Zone read from Brad Jackson for 4.
Well, I mean, this is the Texas State we saw all last year. I mean, this is what they were top. Did they play for the conference? Did they win the West last year?
No, they did not.
They were close.
Close, yep.
They were just
for it.
scoring a bunch of points and tough to beat. And I mean, I'm looking at the schedule like, wow, what happened to Texas State? But, you know, lost some close games. Impressive to, you know, kudos to Coach G.J. Kinney and this staff for, you know, keeping their guys together on the road, not having the season they probably thought they should be having. They're playing hard today.
Well, there's still a chance at bowl eligibility for them. That's been the message for this team is, do you want more football?
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 16. Half the distance to the goal line, automatic, first down.
There's been little incremental mistakes for this Golden Eagle club. They've not been sharp to start this ball game. You see there, Dakari King, the face mask pull. Lincoln Perry.
Yeah, I think the credit for what's happening right now, it's clearly goes to Texas State for the way they're playing, the energy they have. It looked like their ball game from the get-go.
Look how they utilized the width of the field. Look how far out they are spread to the top side. Lincoln Perry's coming out of the back door. Wrestled down by Golden Eagle defender. Sort of one of those moments in this ball game. Clock rolling, working down towards this 2-minute timeout. In an offense that wants to go fast, but now you can really shorten down this first half. Kind of make sure there's time run off this clock, and they're going to just settle to take it all the way to the 2-minute timeout. Say we're happy up 20-0, knocking on the door for 1 point.
There's really two big.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Questions you have to answer if you're an up-tempo offense. Okay, how am I going to do in the red zone when the field gets reduced inside the 10? And then how am I going to handle running the clock out at the end of the game?
We'll see what the response is when we return to Hattiesburg. Cool, calm, and collected. That's how that man, Brad Jackson, has played. 359 yards of offense for the Bobcats, and they're knocking on the door for more. Design QB power.
Yeah, wadded up there, just like we were saying before the break. I'm a spread offense, so I use space to my advantage. When I get inside the 5, I really lose that space naturally by where I'm at on the field. So I gotta emphasize I say red zone offense, but I'm really meaning inside the 10, inside the 5, because really there's nowhere to go. You gotta hand the ball off, you gotta be physical, you gotta hang your hat on finishing drives.
It is 3rd and goal from the 4. You can see what I was referencing. Texas State taking this all the way down. Going to take
Texas State,
a
first
timeout.
charge.
It's managing the game right now. If you're G.J. Kinney, you're understanding, hey, like I'm trying to limit the possession for the Golden Eagles that they get back once we get these points.
Yeah. You know what we hadn't seen today? Is Southern Miss take the defensive timeout.
It's not really been much today.
When they drive
just the one.
Yeah. So we see a lot of that throughout the year. I would think against this team, it would be really when you would want to use it because they're built off momentum, right? Timeout. Just an observation.
Well, it's hard to get the timeout on an
86-yard.
86-yard. You can't
when
get that one in the middle.
Running,
yeah, that's
timeout.
Right, that's right.
We're going to reset that.
Hey, when he catches it at the 40, you know, we would like to pause, step away from regular programming at the moment. We'll be back with you.
Yeah,
It's just been a half that has been on script for Texas State. I mean, this is who they are. It's been a defense not been very good in the Sun Belt Conference. The offense has been elite. Charles Huff banged on the drum all week throughout the Hattiesburg media outlets saying this is the best offense in the conference, and they've looked like it today. Brad Jackson, he's going to tuck it under, trying to make to the corner, and does. Touchdown, Brad Jackson. 6 more points on the board for the Bobcats.
Brad Jackson saw a little speed, buddy. I mean, talk about get to the edge and go. Watch this. He's got guys all over him, but he's got the speed to get to the edge. That's an all-out effort play by your quarterback. Gotta love it. The administrators getting in on the hugs and the high fives. Big day for the Bobcats.
That was Ian Foster who he outran to the pylon. Remind you the speed that Mr. Foster possesses. He led the FBS in kickoff returns a year ago.
Yeah, watch to the left of your screen. Ian Foster's moving. He's probably a 4.5, 4.4 guy. That face right there says it all.
But imagine it'll be a highly spirited halftime locker room for the Golden Eagles. Taking a look to it, and they're going to let him play. Jackson's knee did not hit down on the dive into the pylon. Touchdown will stand on the 4-yard Brad Jackson run. Kyler Robles on for the extra point try. It's 27-0 Texas State. Just a complete on-script start for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and just nice job here by quarterback tucking it, going getting points. Yeah, everything's just kind of going right for them. And like you said, Coach Huff beating the offensive drum for Texas State. That's who they are. And for Southern Miss, you knew you're going to have to score points to win this ball game, and hadn't been able to do that. Obviously, the quarterback's out. Braylon Braxton's out. So, you know, I think you're probably a little misled if you want to pin it all on that.
Number 13 for Southern Miss is reporting as number 68. Number 13 is number 68.
I wouldn't put it all on that, but certainly a factor.
James will kick it away for Texas State. A lot of eyes on Hattiesburg, Mississippi today. Golden Eagles control their own destiny to the Western Division title. Down 27-0 here. You got one timeout in your pocket, minute and 6 seconds. To me, points may not be the expectation here, but creating some momentum into that halftime locker room, you will get the football to start the third quarter, seems significant for the black and gold offense.
Yeah, you really got to double up. I mean, if you could find a way to score fast here and then score out of the half, that's how you flip the momentum and get back in this ball game. If you're Texas State, play soft right here. You can see the coverage shell. They're going too high. You're going to make them drive it. Don't give up the big play.
He will swing it out to Matt Jones, who will step out of bounds. Couldn't maintain his balance in play. Had some room to run, but instead it's a minimal pickup of a few.
Yeah, just kind of lost his spacing there on the sideline.
It's an atmosphere in Hattiesburg, almost shell-shocked, to be honest with you. You can hear the crowd level noise just not heightened at the moment. Elijah Metcalf going to try to get out of bounds. He is awarded it. Sets up a 3rd and manageable for the Golden Eagle offense.
Can't really blame Liddy for not forcing the ball downfield. A lot of zone coverage. He's trying. You can see he's looking in those secondary holes, but they're just not there, and he's getting the ball to his check down. Good coverage by Texas State in the back end. They're playing really a 3 safety look, almost like an old Tampa 2 with the free safety pre-dropped, or the middle linebacker, excuse me.
Liddy wants it. He will try to check it down. It goes incomplete to Matt Jones. The Eagles will be forced to punt it away. When I'll be honest with you, 2 timeouts in the pockets of the Bobcats, 43 seconds.
Oh, I might have mixed in a run there. Maybe get to half. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those scenarios. This is not what you want to do. Good punt off the foot of Reed Harradine. Bo Sparks going to call for the fair catch at the 30.
You know, in Major League Baseball, when the game just gets totally out of hand, and then they'll instead of wasting an arm, they'll pitch a shortstop. Southern Miss will be pitching a shortstop here for too long if they're not careful. It just gets way out of hand. And
look, I know there's probably a black and gold fan at home still full of belief. And I don't want to squander that. But the problem is,
if you're watching the game, you would.
The problem is, right?
You can't stop these guys.
To it. Yeah, I mean, the offense, they're not going to slow down.
Well, they haven't been stopped all year.
Yeah,
really.
Correct. Why would it happen on a Saturday in Hattiesburg?
When they already have the momentum.
Yeah. Might want to double up on whatever you're sipping on at home. Maybe triple up, to be honest with you. Perry back will take the carry. Right side. Texas State says it's 27-0, 2 timeouts, 43 seconds.
We'll take that for one half.
We're okay to go to the locker room. I was curious. The first play call would indicate what the mindset would be for G.J. Kinney and company with 2 timeouts, 43 seconds. The zone read tells you they were okay with 27-0 on the road. Seems significant right now. There's a lot of folks in the Sun Belt paying a lot of attention to M.M. Roberts Stadium. 27-0. Texas State leads it at the half. We'll be back with much more. Halftime at Roberts Stadium on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. The Pride of Mississippi playing in front of this crowd here on this Saturday afternoon. Welcome inside our broadcast booth. I'm Jason Baker alongside my color analyst, Austin Davis. Then all Bobcats, my man, and boy, it started from the start for Texas State. Your assessment of the opening half.
Yeah, I've got the stats in my hand here. I usually like to remember them off the top of my head, but Texas State has so many yards and done so well. It's kind of hard to keep up with it, but check this out. 30 rushes for 200 yards in the first half. 366 total yards on 44 plays. That's on pace for over 700 yards of offense. If you know anything about football, you know that's absolutely kick and tail.
This is how the highlights began in the opening half. We're going to show you a play where the replay confirmed it was an incomplete pass because it would have been a fumble recovery for Southern Miss. Once overturned, they cashed in for 3 points, and that seemed like that started the momentum for Texas State.
Yeah, that was a big play. Southern Miss almost had the turnover, but almost doesn't count. And like you said, since then, Texas State moving the football exactly who they want to be, playing fast, 5-6 yards a carry. They've hit the explosive plays. Jackson's doing a great job through the air, running the football. Just an all-out Texas State clinic today on offense.
They've been able to utilize the run game of Brad Jackson. He's been efficient running. To me, it's been out of his hand, on time, in rhythm as well as his wide receivers.
Yeah, done a good job reading the defense. They've ran that swing screen back to the tunnel screen a couple times, and then there's the big third down play right there that was just huge. Southern Miss kind of playing the sticks. They've gotten yards after the catch. They're doing what they got to do in the run game. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. 366 total yards on offense in one half of football. That sounds like a full game's worth of yardage, and we still got another half to play.
Yeah, an 82-yard touchdown pass to Chris Dawn Jr. You saw Greg Burrell with the 61-yard scamper to set up that scoring drive by Brad Jackson. A 27-0 lead. You mentioned those numbers of the first half. Stats, the 366 jumps out at you. I point you to the 201 rushing yards as well. That's huge because the balance is asserted into this offense.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. They're going to spread you out and try to run it. You're going to have to stop the run. And then once you do that, they can obviously go to the air, a good passing attack, but if you don't stop the run, you're going to keep getting a heavy dose of it.
There's going to be more to come from Hattiesburg, Mississippi when we return to Roberts Stadium. Back with much more. It's a Military Appreciation Day in honor of Veterans Day that we honored earlier this week here at Roberts Stadium. It's a university proud, rich in tradition in support of our military institutions, and that certainly comes from both of us here in this broadcast booth. I want to touch on the tempo. Texas State arrived at Roberts Stadium, first offensive possession. It was as fast. I mean, you even referenced it in the first half, almost like they know the next play before even completing the initial play.
Yeah, it looked like they had a script, and they were just rolling right down that script and played super fast. And I've been a part of up-tempo offenses. I know kind of what you're trying to get done and some of the intricacies of that, but they look faster than I've ever seen. And I know that's a big statement, but early on, they were absolutely flying that first drive.
I mean, you got to reference, like, I'm going to get with GJ. We got to find out, how do you get a team?
I may give him a call.
Yeah, how do you get a team to play that with that kind of tempo?
Yeah,
on the road,
I mean,
right?
It was just mock speed, and there's a lot of teams that run a no-huddle system, but they were on a different level in that first half.
And the man that was running it, Brad Jackson, what has impressed you about his afternoon today?
Well, I think just running the football, he's kind of been a little bit more than I expected. He's done a really nice job with his legs and then made great decisions. Decision maker as a quarterback is, your decision making is imperative, but just his ability to use his legs. He's picked up a couple nice third down. You don't have to be Lamar Jackson. There's only one Lamar Jackson. But if you can go get first downs on 3rd and 5 when you see it, that really helps your offense move down the field.
And then you've been here. Landry Liddy's making his first start in the black and gold. Right now he's been efficient, but he just hasn't been able to get the engine cranked up.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just kind of not his fault, if you will. I mean, Texas State on the other side is just absolutely dominating, and then you're just not really getting anything going. I think for Southern Miss, what helps a quarterback? The run game. Where's the run game? I got to hand the ball off. Help. These guys that have been starting every week, help out the guy that's making his first start. A receiver has to make a big play. Running back has to make a big play. Somebody has to step up in Braylon Braxton's absence, and that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, 100%. That's got to be the tone in the Golden Eagle locker room. Get the ground game going. More to come from Roberts Stadium. 27-0 Texas State. We'll be back with more. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN as it's 27-0 at Roberts Stadium at the half. It's the first time for the Texas State defense holding a team scoreless in the first half since November 9th of last season at Louisiana Monroe, where they were up 28-0 at the half. The start of the third quarter is coming up next on ESPN. Start of the third quarter tonight in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, as nightfall beginning to make its way here in South Mississippi. You're getting the ball back if you're the black and gold, if you're Southern Miss at the moment. If you're going to get back in this game, it must start right here, right now. Correct?
Yeah, pretty simple. Score quick, and score often. That's the second half adjustments.
Tell you what, thorough. Michael James going to kick it away. We've alluded to it too, right? Like, it's 27-0. It's essentially 4 possessions. The pressure comes from the fact of their offense has not shown any signs that they can't score practically at will, at least in this opening half. And so now that puts the pressure and emphasis on each possession. How many of those will you get in this second half to be able to capitalize on? Correct?
Well, with a lead like this, as an offensive team, defensively, really, You can soften up, give up some yardage. You really just want the clock to run. I mean, even if you give up 10-play scoring drives and it eats up 6-7 minutes and keeps scoring on offense, they still can't catch you. So a lot of options for Texas State on defense.
Jeffrey Pittman on the counter, running angry on first down up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 8.
It's good to have Pittman back in the lineup for Southern Miss. He's been a bell cow all year. He's the lead back by far, carries the bulk of the load, and you see why.
Oh boy, running through tackles goes Jeffrey Pittman.
Officials timeout.
Got an injured Bobcat on the field. Immediately getting some tape off of his
that doesn't
cleat
look
on the field side.
That's
not
look
a good
great.
sign. No, it doesn't.
Take a look here. Just kind of got rolled up on, but some serious attention being given.
Serious injury happening for the Bobcats. Thoughts and prayers go to Bryce Carter, the injured Texas State member of the football team. We'll be back to Hattiesburg after this. Fifth-year senior Bryce Carter. Serious moment happening here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. Medical personnel and training staff right on the scene for what is a serious lower leg injury to Bryce Carter. So they're going to attend to him. He's a 6'3", 299-pound defensive tackle. 23 career tackles. The Bobcats, he's being assisted by that medical staff over to the cart. You could see, too, as we headed to break, we gave you a shot of his team immediately into a moment of prayer for their teammate.
Yeah, just tough situation. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him. That looked like a pretty rough injury. Good job by the medical staff, both sides. You can see Southern Miss, Texas State, all hands on deck. Good job getting out there. Cart came out right away. So good to see everyone kind of ready for that situation, and good to see him sit it up. He sat up, and hopefully it's just a dislocation and they'll get him taken care of. But thoughts go out to him.
Yeah, he's a member from a hometown of South Chesterfield, Virginia. A lot of the times my mind as a father goes to his parents back at home, probably watching this broadcast this evening. I want them to know that Bryce is being taken care of by some of the best in this region. Quickly, that medical staff from the Bobcats was over to Bryce. You could immediately see him begin to cut the tape off the cleat on the field here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. And so certainly want Bryce to be okay, and we believe he will be, but not before he is going to be medically attended to here in the Pine Belt region.
It's amazing how much work you put into being a member of a football team and all the training, practices, and it's amazing how fast it can just be over. You know, I remember going through that when I hurt my foot my sophomore year. Man, just the emotions of knowing that my season was over was just overwhelming. And you can see there he's kind of feeling that. We don't know. I'm not making any assumptions. We don't know the injury, but we certainly know based on the way the medical staff is treating him that could be that. And but man, it's a lot for any young man to go through that type of injury. I lived it. And the support of your teammates is important. Your attitude and your approach to rehab is important. Just the part of football none of us like. It's a contact game, and this kind of thing happens.
There is beauty in the unity. You're watching two teams compete on this football field this afternoon. You could see Bryce and the emotion that's coming from him. But that's both Southern Miss and Texas State medical personnel taking care of each other and this young man in Bryce Carter. You could watch his teammates, members of that defensive unit, out on the field. They all had eyes upon Bryce Carter immediately. Bryce is going to get a ride out of M.M. Roberts Stadium. Further attention going to be given to him. A fifth-year senior out of South Chesterfield, Virginia. When you can see him point to his teammates and say, "Finish the game." That's what he was talking to his members of that defensive unit for Texas State. Done by that medical staff. Once more, thoughts and prayers to Bryce Carter.
Yep, a lot of time and effort and energy goes into the policies and procedures, so good to see that everyone was on it.
Landry Liddy is back to work for this Golden Eagle offense. It is first down and 10 at the 45. Jeffrey Pittman right back, had a couple of nice runs to begin the drive. He'll sort of navigate his way into Bobcat territory. Stacks to the bottom of the formation. That was Micah Davis and Elijah Metcalf.
It's second down in the down box.
Stoppage to correct the down marker. Second down in 4. We started the quarter saying it's must score. It's really must score 6 points or more.
Every time for Southern Miss. And a couple nice plays to get out over midfield here. But again, you can see the structure of the Texas State defense. They're going to play deep. Looks like pressure off the left, but safeties are deep.
A shot downfield, interception thrown by Landry Liddy. Jaden Rios, best corner of this secondary for the Bobcats, takes it away. There is a penalty flag that was thrown onto the field during the return. And if it could go right, it has gone right for Texas State this afternoon.
Yeah, so a little play action pass, had pressure, but this is just an undercut by Rios. He actually, I believe, left his man eyes inside and cuts off the seam route. See him coming from
an interception by the defense during the return. Illegal block in the back. Return team. 10-yard penalty. First down and 10, Texas State.
Yeah, so that's such a great read by him. He's coming from the outside, reading the quarterback's eyes, and jumps underneath that seam ball.
That's his second interception of the season, and he's done it against the best in the Sun Belt. One against JMU earlier this year, now the other against the Western Division leader in Southern Miss. So if you're Brad Jackson, you're GJ Kinney in this Bobcat offense, you probably want to try to start this second half much like you did the first. I get it. You're trying to shorten this game, get your win, get on the road, and get out of here.
I'm probably not letting off the gas at least until late third, one more score. I'm same exact approach as the first drive of the game right here.
That was an up-tempo start for Texas State to begin this ball game. Greg Burrell with a carry. That's his 7th carry of this ball game.
Injured player of the defense.
The Golden Eagle is shaken up at the moment.
So it could be a shoulder.
That's Garrett Ponder who is down. Grimacing on the field here at Roberts Stadium. 13-11 here in this third quarter. We've had 2 long stoppages at the moment already in the quarter with the injury to Bryce Carter. Now Garrett Ponder, a talented defensive lineman. Matter of fact, Ponder's had a great start to this ball game, affected a couple throws of Brad Jackson. We'll be back with more to Roberts Stadium right after this. After the Jaden Rios interception, it's the 4th straight game with a takeaway for this Bobcat defense. Significant. They only had 1 of those in the first 6 ball games of this season. Maybe a shift happening for this Bobcat defense, playing a little better of late. It helps with turnovers.
Yeah, big job or nice job creating turnovers. And, you know, that's really probably the first thing I would look at if I was struggling on one side of the ball, the other. Either side, I would say, are we creating turnovers on defense? Yes or no? Offensively, we're struggling, or are we turning it over? And like you mentioned earlier, with the first fumble recovery they've had all season.
Yeah,
so something they've struggled to do.
You got to witness that history today.
Yeah.
Brad Jackson gives it to Greg Burrell. Ian Foster, Jamon Tapp, both there for the tackle. There was some success against the run early, but boy, they got it going late in that first half. Burrell had the 61-yard rush attempt. He's up to 8 carries, 89 yards. Brad Jackson's been efficient running the football. They'll split the defenders up to about the 28-yard line officially.
You could really see that in that drive, right? It was a run, Just when you're up like this and your defense is playing well, as that up-tempo offense goes, you just kind of get stuck in between, how do I want to play this? And you can see they didn't look the same there.
But the conversation goes like this, right, for me. You are who you are.
I agree. You can't stop.
You change the identity.
And I'm not saying they meant to, because they certainly, Southern Miss just got to stop. Okay, that could have been the case, but it was 2 inside runs.
But you've told me this before, and it should be noted to the viewer back maybe in San Marcos, doesn't know Austin. You played for Blake Anderson, the offense coordinator here, underneath one of the tempo guys, and Larry Fedora, who, by the way, is in this building this afternoon here at M.M. Roberts Stadium. You've told me before, it's really difficult as teams that are up-tempo when you take the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
If this thing gets tight late, it's kind of hard to get the foot back onto the throttle.
You just don't take your foot off the gas. Like you said, it's what you do. There's not another. That's the style that you know. So stick to it. If you turn it over, if you give the offense a couple more possessions, then so be it. You're sticking to your rhythm.
And there is a trust in your defense that should be shown as Elijah Metcalf goes for 1 yard on the tunnel screen.
Well, there's no reason not to trust your defense in this ball game. They've done nothing in this game that would lead you to believe that Southern Miss is about to score 28 points unanswered. I mean,
correct.
They played really well, getting lined up, doing everything they need to do.
It is a check down. Jalen Carter, a talented freshman, goes up to the 38-yard line. It's his 4th reception of the season out of the backfield.
Definitely could see that from Southern Miss. Spread it out, call downfield passes, and check it down. They're going to give you 6 or 7 on a check down. Now, you got to be disciplined enough at quarterback to take it, but you can move down the field against soft coverage just by checking the ball down.
It was Kyron Heath they moved in motion. It's Elijah Metcalf who has scampered open, still on his feet. Making a couple Bobcats miss. Down to the 35-yard line goes Elijah Metcalf.
Yeah, good rhythm, good protection.
Player of the defense.
So a timeout called by Texas State. Going to want to slow things down. An injury timeout on an injured Bobcat on the field. Checking that defender out at the moment. So now all of a sudden, tone of this quarter, right, is that, hey, we're going to shorten it. That's kind of apparent what Texas State appears like they want to do. You've alluded to sort of a shell coverage. Everything's in front of you.
Yeah.
So if you're Southern Miss, you're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
At a certain point, though, you're going to have to get some vertical game going, right? You're going to have to find a way to find some form of action downfield to get some scores.
Yeah.
Correct? I mean, am I wrong in that thought?
Well, it's 27-0, so you do have to get the ball downfield. I think most likely you just got to get a score first, and you can. I'm telling you, I've seen the guys that believe in this philosophy, quarterback guys, whoever, you can check the ball down and go right down the field because you're still getting it to a back in space. He makes one guy miss. You can get
kind of like that last
20,
play.
30 yards on a check down. You don't have to throw the ball down the field to move the ball. Go get a score, even if you do it that way, and then you're going to have to get a turnover on defense. That's what it would take for Southern Miss.
Liddy overshoots his intended target, Carl Chester Jr. here. The margin for error in this second half, to state the obvious for Southern Miss.
Yeah, you're fighting an uphill battle. We're talking 1 in 100 here, if that.
Well, we've seen crazier.
Yeah, but you got to keep playing, and you got to have a plan for how you're going to get back into it.
The game earlier today, Texas A&M worked themselves back from 30-3 against South Carolina to get a 31-30 win. So it's not.
Never say
it's
that.
Not impossible, correct?
Certainly not possible.
You're going to have to win these. You're going to have to win the third down in management. It's 3rd and 5. Ball is at the 30. The deepest the Golden Eagles have been in Texas State territory today. That was opening drive, a fumble at the 14.
This is a signature rundown in distance for offensive coordinator Blake Anderson, knowing that it's probably 4-down territory too. Even if you don't get it, you're probably going to go.
So you're thinking run if you're
could be
in your era of what?
Yeah, it could be just because they're thinking pass.
Anderson offense.
They're thinking pass for sure. So you could hand it off here.
I like the three high safety look right now for Texas State. Kind of changing the window, if you will, or the painting for Landry Liddy. It's a toss to Jalen Carter. That's a loss of 5.
Man, this
have a day. Terrence Cooks the second. He has been a mastermind behind the line of scrimmage. This is a defense without their best player. Tamir Jackson came in with 6 tackles for losses on the season. That's who they're without for the next 2 ball games.
Felt like it would be a run. Didn't expect a toss, loss of 4. You know, obviously they didn't either, but give a lot of credit to this Texas State defense. They are flying around, playing aggressive, even in the shell coverage. Again, look at all the high safeties.
Yeah, it's
down in the box, they're still flying around.
4th and 9. Across the middle, tip drill, and it hits the turf. Turnover on downs. Texas State will get the football back. And we'll have more action when we return. You're watching Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN. Brad Jackson today, I would deem him efficient. 12 of 14, 165 through the air, 10 rushes, 33 yards, 2 touchdowns. What have you loved about him?
Just that, efficiency, handled the offense well, has done it with his feet, done it with his arms, or arm, rather.
Oh, we're going razzle-dazzle. Those sparks coming across the formation. DJ Kinney's putting on some tape. Penalty flags are in the backfield.
Holding. Offense, number 7. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Yeah, you can see there, Ian Foster getting held.
offensive coaches have a section of their play sheet up by 20 plus, game in control.
Yeah.
Let's run these.
Well, you put some stuff on film, right? Put some trickery on film, give the other team something to study, you know, make it harder for their preparation. Yeah, I think they're trying to create some run game.
I'll tell you what else is unique. GJ's gone play sheet in the belt. You can see GJ at the very top of your screen. Brad Jackson sacked. Jamon Tapp has another sack on his resume. It's his 5th sack of the season.
Yeah, Jamon Tapp has been a presence on the defensive end. You can see him laying out for that sack. Watch him on the right side, shed and run. Oh, that's all effort. I love it.
Native of Donaldsonville, Louisiana, transferred from Arizona State. Lincoln Perry with a carry to get a few back on first down. Rather check that second down at 26. Now 3rd down. And quite a few for the Bobcats. It's 3rd and 22. Bobcats have been today on 3rd down. It's 4th and 7.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Fifth penalty of the day against Texas State. It's 3rd and 27. You can see the shell. Boy, look at the wide shot of that secondary. Just going to keep everything in front. Brad Jackson is flush from the pocket and let it go into the bench. The Eagle defense gets a stop. Second consecutive stop of this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I feel like for Southern Miss, they're doing what they need to do on the defensive side of the football right now. They just can't get it going on offense.
David Nunez will punt it away. Dandy of a punt. Micah Davis receives it. Couple men that he's made miss. Spins forward to the 49-yard line. This Golden Eagle offense back out on the field. No Braylon Braxton today. He was injured early in the Arkansas State game. He did return to that ball game, but he was not the same type of quarterback. He was really hampered. Blake Anderson had to rely upon Braylon Braxton's arm under evaluation this week. Deemed a game-time decision, went through warm-ups, was dressed today. Southern Miss choosing to hold him out of this ball game and go with Landry Liddy.
And let's be clear, Liddy hadn't played a bad football game.
No, he's 14 to 22, 120. He has thrown the 1 INT. That was really a better play made by Jaden Rios than it was a bad pass by Landry Liddy.
It's just real easy to look at the result and look at the difference for Southern Miss and go, oh, okay, we didn't have Braylon Braxton. But Texas State's playing really well, and they're a good football team. Give them a lot of the credit.
Back foot throw to Carl Chester is short. Yeah, I would point you to the rushing attack for Southern Miss today. 18 carries, 63 yards. But peep this, Jeffrey Pittman has 8 for 46 yards. So if you take everyone else that's carried the football, which is 6 more Golden Eagles, that's only 10 more carries for 17 yards combined across those 6 rushers for the Golden Eagle rushing attack.
I mean, that one staple.
You're not going to win many games.
No.
Landry Liddy finds Elijah Metcalf. They've got real chemistry, you can tell. He trusts where Metcalf is going to be against these zone defenses.
Yeah, good timing, spacing across the board there. Good. Southern Miss trying to pick up the tempo. Obviously got to go fast.
6th reception of the day for Elijah Metcalf. Tyshawn Chapman, a spinning catch inside the 15. That was an excellent blitz pickup as well by Jeffrey Pittman. Bought Landry Liddy the time. Bunch formation. It's Metcalf, the lead guy, on the line.
False start. Offense, number 7. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Drive killers. Pre-snap penalties. And that's kind of been the feel for Southern Miss, right? Just as soon as something good happens, a negative play, a penalty, a turnover, that just keeps you from really getting in your rhythm on offense. You got to be consistent.
And it's little nuances like this that can turn a drive what was in rhythm, headed for a touchdown, into what we'll have to see what the result of the drive is, right? Kyron Heath motion to the H-back position. Hand off to Jeffrey Pittman. He'll go inside the 5-yard line, but there is a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense, number 88. 10-yard penalty. First down.
It's just been that kind of day. We'll take a look here for Southern Miss. Who's it on? What number?
Looked second level to me, right as Jeffrey Pittman through the defensive line of the Bobcats. Looked like Kyron Heath right there.
Yeah, turn the shoulders. You can grab jersey, but when you turn them, you gotta let them go.
So the penalty puts it to 1st and 15. Throwing to Carl Chester. Good scheme on the screen. Inside the 15, down to the 13-yard line. Carl Chester's 2nd reception of the day. Bobcats in a base look. Matt Jones with a carry. Near the first down marker to the 6. We'll set up a 3rd and 1.
Wouldn't be surprised if Texas State brings all-out pressure here. Let's see what they do. They're all crowding the line of scrimmage.
Landry Liddy pulls it, fighting for the yardage. Lowers his shoulder and gets the first down by Landry Liddy.
Yep, the Bobcats brought the house. Good read. As you can see, they all crashed down on the running back, and then there's just a lot of bodies in the box come out and make the play, but did enough to get the first.
Liddy's 2nd rushing attempt of the afternoon. Leaves with Jeffrey Pittman. Trying to power his way in. No gain. 2nd and goal.
Yeah, just not a lot of movement up front there, trying to get to the outside. Good job by Texas State, cutting it back and the inside pursuit. So the outside guy cut it back, inside pursuit, run the alley and make the play.
Going up top, Carl Chester is batted away. Beautiful play by the corner, Cordarion Powell, the true freshman out of Royce City, Texas, and Royce City High School.
Yeah, Powell matched up against Chester. That's great coverage. Play your hands into the DB, get your head around when you know the ball's coming. Maybe a little shoulder grab, but not egregious. I love cornerbacks to play physical. Don't just let the guy go up and make the play. Get your hands on him.
Trips. into the sideline. A touchdown pass to Elijah Metcalf from Landry Liddy, and the Golden Eagles are on the board.
It took a while. Southern Miss finds the end zone here late in the third. Nice drive there. Elijah Metcalf finds the front side of the end zone. Liddy hits him with a strike, and Southern Miss trying to build some momentum.
Creighton Wilbanks, freshman kicker on out of Mandeville, Louisiana, puts this one right between the uprights. 27-7. 20-point lead for Texas State. So for the Golden Eagles, Austin, as you mentioned, right, the strike from Liddy to Metcalf. There's still work to do. This isn't impossible. Crazier things have occurred in college football before, but that was a must score for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, must score. You got to get stops, and I think personally, if they do get back in this game, it'll be a turnover, a short field turnover, fumble, interception, and then a quick score, and then all of a sudden you're kind of back in it. That's what'll flip the game. If Texas State can mount drives and run the clock, this game's already out of reach.
Well, so far in the third quarter, they've not been able to.
Yeah,
and that's sort of to my point that we began talking at the third quarter. It's an offense that was, I mean, as you put it, I'll use your terminology, they were like Mach 10.
They were.
To begin this ball game.
Yeah, and now they're in that middle ground because
they're up
right? So much, but you get a little uneasy if the other team scores a touchdown or two and kind of gets back in it. So they're going to have to make that decision. I'm sure we'll see them go fast here. That's, like you said, that's what they do.
I mean, they have, you ready for this? 4 total yards in the second half right now. Just the Texas State Bobcat offense. The extracurriculars happening at the end of the play. Bobcats can't afford another raucous, as the scene unfolded in Lafayette, Louisiana last Saturday night. Golden Eagles can't afford that either, for that matter. So 27-7. This is, and I'm going to use your words. You said, you know, they're up by so much, but it's 20.
Now it's 20.
Right? So now a little sense of urgency is kind of created.
Well, I want to see Southern Miss. I want to see what they do. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to bring some pressure, really try to create something from a turnover, strip sack fumble, interception, a big negative play.
The benefit is they lead the country in takeaways. It's a defense capable of it.
Yeah, they're going to try to wish one up right here.
Jackson, this to me is the great equalizer for the Bobcat offense. The ability for him to convert, move chains with his feet.
Yeah, like I said, I've been impressed with his efficient running and his ability to tuck it and go.
Burrell tossed down, tackle for loss by guess who? Jamon Tapp, take a bow, young man. Tapp has made himself some money, and I'm not talking the NIL kind. He has popped up all of a sudden on some NFL draft radars.
Yeah, in fact, the man that is responsible for helping me get to the NFL is right over here still scouting for the Rams, so he may be here looking for Mr. Tapp. I can tell you one thing, they're always...
He loved your body as much as he loved Jamon Tapp's body back then. You don't believe that's the case?
So. I don't think so. I don't even want to ask.
Yeah, we should ask him.
Physical specimen?
Yeah, that's correct.
I don't think that was ever put on my scout report.
Not on your sheet, unfortunately.
Jamon Tapp, yes. Physical specimen. Great length, athletic ability, plays the edge really well, plays the run and the pass.
6'3", 275, too.
Probably going to get a chance to play on Sunday.
Yeah, I would think so. And off to Lincoln Perry. Bobcats are in Golden Eagle territory to the 39. Bo Sparks, you saw him removed out of the ball game for just a brief moment. He'll shake it up. Jackson runs for another first down to the 31-yard line. Bobcats picking that rhythm up now.
I think they'll probably bleed the quarter here. Game clock's just inside the play clock, so they're going to let it run.
This offense has been dominant really from the start. They're over 414 yards of total offense. Keep that in mind. With the second half, they've not really had to be in mock speed, but they've begun an efficient drive right now for Texas State. Third quarter's in the Brooks in Hattiesburg. We'll be back with more Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN.
Let's go.
Just some youngsters enjoying a mascot here at Roberts Stadium for Saturday night Sunbelt Conference football action tonight. See Braylon Braxton, leadership qualities is what makes him special.
No doubt. He's been really good for this football team, really good for this community. Just a high character individual. Tries to do things the right way.
First down and 10 for Texas State from the 31. Lincoln Perry off the right side. Chris Jones with his 14th tackle of the afternoon.
All over the field, nothing new. That's what he does on Saturday afternoons. I'm going to play football and I'm going to make a lot of tackles. I'm Chris Jones. He does it every week.
That's
man.
His identity.
Yeah, I mean, he's been so good for Southern Miss.
Both he and Mike Montgomery, who is a Mike backer, 17, shifting with Lincoln Perry out to that left side. It was a nice play design. They got the linebackers. You saw Mike Montgomery and Chris Jones kind of go with the motion, wide left.
Yeah, emptied the box. Had what they wanted. He just couldn't get through the defensive line. Look, there's no backers in there, man. That was, whew.
It was an old man tackle as well. Nobody from the black and gold had to put a hand on Brad Jackson on the play. It's 3rd and 6.
So who gets the tackle? Closest guy? The guy pushing the lineman?
A team tackle is what it's officially scored as, I would think. Chris Dawn Jr.'s across the formation. Pressure coming. Brad Jackson's flush. This is what he does as well. He will get near the first down marker. It'll be a spot determination. Ian Foster is the man who made the tackle to nickelback. They're signaling first down.
Yeah, he did a good job running through contact right there for extra yards. There's no slide in that approach.
Well, the extra yards is why they have the first down. Lincoln Perry back to the ground. 2nd level run, maybe even to the 3rd level as Lincoln Perry's inside the 5-yard line and near the end zone.
Texas State looking to put a stamp on this one early in the 4th. Hand the football off, zone scheme, cut the backside, get upfield.
Brad Jackson scampering, stuck the football out. They're going to rule him down inside the 1-yard line.
He was really close to getting that ball extended over the goal line.
I thought in the course of the run, I saw it sort of stick out. Here's another look.
Zone read, nobody off the edge. There comes Foster. Ooh, he never went down. That's a touchdown. Play on.
Inside the 1, 2nd and goal. Quickly, Lincoln Perry dives in. Touchdown, Texas State. The Bobcats arrived to Hattiesburg in a foul mood. They have played like it today, 33-7 after giving up the score. The response they needed to put this one on ice.
Yeah, and doing it with the run game, really getting physical in the trenches. Perrier just downhill, hard running, and then finishing over the top. Impressive drive by the Bobcats.
Robles kick is up and true. And it's 34-7. Texas State will be back with more action as you're watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN. Sunbelt's getting a little crazy, Austin. The Texas State Bobcats arrived at Hattiesburg without a conference win, 0 for 5. They have played like the better team from the start of this one on. An emphatic drive after giving up the points to the Golden Eagles in a response from that Texas State offense.
Yeah, it's really my first thought when I picked up the book this week to get ready for this game, is this is a team that record may not be the indicator of what kind of football team they have, and they've showed it today. Southern Miss out in front of the West Conference, Texas State at the dead bottom. They flipped it. They're playing their tails off.
Should be noted, there was a lot of emphasis that Texas State could beat this type of team in the preseason thought process. They just hadn't been that way throughout the course of the season. You alluded to it earlier. There's a couple overtime losses.
Yep.
There's a 1-point loss, 3-point loss a week ago against Louisiana.
They're all one-score losses.
Except
for James Madison. That's it. So
I mean, that's the class of the East.
That's just kind of like ball bouncing your way type of things, knowing how to win. And then, they have struggled on defense. We mentioned that, but not tonight.
No, they had been here with a bit of a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, they're used to winning. This is a program that's been winning. They are not used to losing, so it's been a tough year for them.
We're going to throw to Elijah Metcalf, working back to the middle of the field. It was a nice play design. They had Jalen Carter swung out, and then they were screening back underneath it, so you kind of had a flow going with the back out of the backfield and screen against it. Picked up a couple, 2nd and 8. This is the freshman back in Jalen Carter. He'll fall forward to the 36-yard line.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
Aloha Lamaui is shaken up. That is not good news. He has been a constant on the offensive line for the Golden Eagles, the starting right guard, the native of Samoa. We'll be back with more action along the Sun Belt Conference ESPN app. .6'1", 310-pound senior right guard out of America Samoa. It's really what you don't want. Ball game like this. Look at the play for Maui. You see him pulling out. right there at the end of the play, kind of rolled up on. Of course, of the tackle being made against Jalen Carter.
Yeah, he's really been a staple for this offensive line all year. A group that's not necessarily deep. It got rebuilt in the offseason to get it to where it's at now, but I wouldn't consider it one of Southern Miss's deep position groups.
Yeah, and outside of Blake Bustard, they've been relatively healthy. Nice run. Mac Jones up to the 49-yard line.
Gonna have to take a shot at some point for Southern Miss. But again, you see that shell 3 safety defense. It's just nearly impossible to get behind that.
Liddy will check it down to Braylon Brown, who stretches the football out for the first. Sean Coughlin, the offensive line coach for Southern Miss, has inserted Luke Rogers as the right guard to replace Aloha Lamaui. Tall in the pocket, Landry Liddy fires high. That was intended on the check down for the Golden Eagles. He was trying to go to his tight end, TJ Johnson Jr.
Just fired a little high. You know, that's just the difference in, you know, ball up over the head or at the chest. Always preach to young quarterbacks, accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. Make it easy on your receiver. Could he have caught it? Sure, could have caught it, but do the best you can to put it right there on the armpit or the center of the chest.
Well, Jalen Carter finds some space, slides the hips at an angle down to the 27-yard line of the first down for Southern Miss.
Yeah, good job gap scheme, lineman out in front.
Action pass. Liddy flush right. Gonna check it to Jalen Carter out in the flats. Dives inside the 20, goes Jalen Carter. Watching this offense pick the rhythm up, that's why the drive, that last one for the Texas State offense was so important. You were sitting 27-7. The Eagle defense could have gotten that stop. Looking at an offense now, kind of put together its 2 best offensive possessions to this point of today, at least.
Yeah, they've moved the ball at times. It's just been that consistency that we've seen all year hasn't been there.
Jalen Carter has a backside angle. He's going to be ridden down from behind. Terrence Cooks the second with another tackle.
Officials timeout for an injured player in the defense.
That was Terrence Cooks the second, 13th tackle of this ball game here with 9:18 to play in the fourth quarter. That should be attended to as well by this medical staff for Texas State. To your point, we were talking about the record a little deceiving for Texas State. Those 3 losses in conference, the loss to Arkansas State, it was 7 seconds left when Arkansas State scored. That was the win, 31-30. Texas State
31-30, right?
Yeah, missed the 42-yard field goal to end the fourth quarter. That was against Troy in regulation. They wound up losing in overtime. Then they missed a 50-yard field goal as time expired in the fourth quarter against Marshall to lose that one in double overtime. That's 3 losses, just the 3 that you could have easily one play away flipped it.
42-39 at Louisiana last week or week before, I'm not sure, but last game.
Yeah.
You know, just losing close games, and that's almost kind of feel like for Texas State the season that could have been.
Liddy tosses it to Jalen Carter.
I mean, because let's be honest, we've watched Southern Miss play a lot this year. Outside of Mississippi State, and I didn't see a lot of the La Tech game on the road, but we haven't seen a team do this to Southern Miss all year.
Yeah, correct.
Not even close. So, I mean, they've been They're a good-looking ball club today.
Clock rolling as they rule Carter down inbounds. Micah Davis on the screen, made a man miss. Slides to the 6.
Mass substitutions, yeah.
Andrew Liddy, 23 of 34, 199. There's total yards today. One touchdown, the one INT that he threw that was probably not a bad throw, just a better play by Jaden Rios. 3rd and 4. Must convert or score. Andrew Liddy rolls, boots out right side. It's not what the doctor ordered. In the end zone, intercepted, taking it back for the Texas State Bobcats. Out of that secondary, Christopher Jones, 100 yards, pick 6. Bobcats put points on the board from their defense.
A defensive player's dream come true. Pick 6 from the opposing end zone, at least a 100-yard return. May have been 2 or 3 yards deep in the end zone when he caught the football. Just a poor decision by Liddy. It's not there, throw it away. But Texas State, Johnny on the spot, let's go. And now they're just rubbing it in.
The first interception of the redshirt freshman Christopher Jones's career.
What a play for your first interception.
The extra point's true for the Bobcats. They have busted it open in Hattiesburg. 41-7. They're on top of the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. We'll be back with much more. Christopher Jones for Texas State will never forget this night on November 15th. A 100-yard pick 6 for the Bobcats. They're on top at 34.
Kind of put the icing on the cake of an excellent night for Texas State. Exactly what they wanted to do coming in here to Hattiesburg. Took advantage of Braylon Braxton being out. And offense really done what they've done all year, just rolling up and down the field, points, yards, touchdowns, nothing new for that side of the ball.
Mount Scout outscored Southern Miss in this fourth quarter, 14-0 to this point. 7:45 left in it. G.J. Kinney's got to be thrilled with his ball club and the way that they have performed into this building.
And I think something to be noted is just holding the team together, right? It hasn't gone the way they wanted to. That's a tough job for a coach. Keep that group together, and you can tell
Texas State.
This performance tonight, they still believe. They're still playing hard. That says a lot about his ability to coach and this staff and the job they've done to keep this team together.
Well, and it says something, too. They were handed 6 suspensions this week from the Sun Belt Conference for the brouhaha that occurred over in Lafayette, Louisiana last week. But they've also dealt with, there's been coaching search rumors earlier in the season. TJ's name popped up for that Oklahoma State job when Mike Gundy was let go as the head coach. And to his credit, and this is sort of becoming a thing now in college football, he chose to address it with his team. When asked why he did it, he said, well, I want them to be honest with me, so I want to be honest with them, talk to him like a man. So he addressed all of that as the Bobcats head coach and sort of what that meant and what it indicated. And, you know, I get the season has not sort of transpired to the way that maybe they thought, but to your point, I think this performance speaks to, is G.J. Kinney in control of this program? I think the resounding answer is yes.
Yeah, I think so, of course. And I think and I've learned this, or learning this as a young coach myself, but authenticity, man, that's your greatest quality for your kids. I mean, that if you're trying to sell them something that's not true, then they're going to see right through that. You're going to lose them right there. So if his name's up for a big-time job and his dreams are to be of course, he's going to consider it or talk about it. And I just really credit him for the way he handled that, because how many times have we heard a coach who doesn't handle it the right way? Correct. I mean, man, we've heard of guys taking a job and sending a text back to their old team. I mean, come on, like, those are your guys.
And to your point, the authenticity of it, that's the same thing that has been seen from Charles Huff inside this program
no question.
For the Southern Miss Golden Eagles. He has been who he said he was going to be, and he has told this team, you know, I love you, I respect you, I protect you, despite the results.
Yep.
That's one of his messages that he gives to this team in his locker room. And in his club has responded this year. They're going to get an opportunity to do that next week outside of this performance inside of M.M. Robertson.
Yeah, as crazy as it sounds, sometimes the scoreboard is your worst enemy, even if you're winning. And you hear Nick Saban talk about it all the time, you know, or used to, and he's still on TV, but he talks about the process and the standard of being great, and sometimes we get lost in the score. And even if we won, we didn't play our best, and even if we lost, we played good. But that's just society. Society wants results. We just want to put that win in the win column. And running a football team and doing what these guys are trying to do is so much more than that. I'm just impressed with Texas State. Was real impressed with what, you know, GJ's done over the last couple of years, but tonight, really impressive win. Assuming a miracle doesn't happen.
We would be witnessing one tonight.
I know maybe I'm a little premature, but just a great job.
And to their credit, they've really played two styles of halves. First half was tempo, speed, downfield throwing, utilizing the run game to set it up. The second half has been ball control, convert the sticks, use the efficiency of Brad Jackson's running ability, use Lincoln Perry, use our defense who's put points on this board, shorten this second half, and get out of Hattiesburg, as we said, with a W, and that's what Texas State's trying to navigate to. It's second down and 6. I want to allude to something as well. You mentioned Charles Huff and the job that he's done, the authenticity It's no secret what they're trying to accomplish. They are in the hunt for berths into the Sun Belt Championship. You had a loss in 2011 to UAB. It still haunts many Golden Eagle fans to this day. You and I were talking before this ball game that, you know, it was an attention getter for the 2011 team, the championship team that held the Conference USA Championship here at Southern Miss. Your mindset of the team had to have changed that night after that loss, a much more detailed flight-focused approach.
Second charge timeout.
There's 2 more
Texas
games
State.
left on the schedule for this Golden Eagle club. They'll go down to Hancock-Whitney Stadium, Mobile next Saturday. How does that mind shift have to change to get ready for this stretch run to what should be and hopefully be a berth in the Sun Belt Championship?
Well, first thing, I think you got to flush this game out, right? I mean, you're still, everything you want is still in front of you. You put yourself in position. Coach Fedora used to say this all the time. You've made this a big game. All your games are big, quote unquote, because you put yourself in that position. So the last 2 games at South Alabama, Troy, you still control your own destiny. So really, you learn from this. You watch the film, you flush it, you get back to work, and you try to go win the West and play for a conference title, because that's the goal. You know, that's the goal. You want to be a champion. You want to win your conference. And everything is still right in front of him. And I know, from everything I know about Charles Huff, he'll do a great job getting his guys refocused.
Direct snap, Lincoln Perry, power play, going to end up a yard shy. This tells the story of who Southern Miss has been this season and what they're going to have to try to get back to next Saturday. Entering today, and this is impressive, you should listen. The Golden Eagles have had no turnovers in the red zone entering today.
Wow.
But they've had 2 of their 3 turnovers today were inside the red zone. That's winning football versus losing football. And that probably tells a lot of
turnovers, turnovers, turnovers. How many times can you say it, especially in the red zone?
4th and short, Texas State's going to choose to punt this away. David Nunez pops it high into the night sky. Micah Davis receives it near the 25-yard line. So 4:31 left. Got an offense with a backup quarterback in Landry Liddy. He has gone with his first start as a Golden Eagle today, a transfer from Louisiana Tech over to UAB, where he played underneath Trent Dilfer, the former head coach at UAB. Transferred into the portal now for Southern Miss.
I have a lot of respect for his decision, you know, to come to Southern Miss and compete, rather than, you know, maybe going somewhere else. I know he had other opportunities, but wanted to be at the highest level of college football. And all he asked was a chance to compete. What else, you know, what else can you ask for? So I have a lot of respect for that approach.
He's 24 of 38 today. Prior to that last completion. 2nd and 1, handoff. Jalen Carter for a few. He'll convert the first down for Southern Miss.
I mean, listen, I said this earlier, I'll say it again. Landry Liddy didn't lose this football game. Texas State beat Southern Miss, hands down.
Yeah, that needs to be the message, right?
Texas State won in every phase, coaching, playing, executing. I mean, they came ready to play.
Check down to Jalen Carter, goes off his right hand. Incomplete on the pass attempt. There'll be a QB watch in Hattiesburg, Mississippi this week through practice.
I was just about to say, but with that being said, I'll bet you Braylon Braxton plays next week.
Well, they're going to try to find a way.
That's just football.
And it should be noted to the Golden Eagle fan, maybe tuning in late, where have you been, by the way? But as well, Braylon warmed up today. Game time decision. He is dressed out tonight. It was just a determination who gave the Golden Eagles the best chance to win this game today. Was it Braylon Braxton around? He was told us yesterday, sitting about 70%. They were going to evaluate him at the hotel. They were going to evaluate him once arrived at the Rock today. They chose to go with Landry Liddy.
Well, I think when it comes to injuries, as a coach.
Jalen Carter hit the R1 button for a first down.
A couple times. But I think you owe it to the kid to protect the kid. I mean, trying to win games, I get it. But their health is more important. So you'll have guys that want to play that really shouldn't play, because that's just a mentality of a good athlete. But if you're not able to play, you shouldn't be out there.
Well, and there was a conversation last week in Jonesboro on the sideline. Charles Huff was not asking Braylon, was he good? He was actually asking Braylon Braxton, hey, if you go back in, can you protect yourself?
Right.
So he certainly had his quarterback in his mind. Check down to Jalen Carter. He wrangled out of bounds in Bobcat territory. Golden Eagles get another play off before this 2-minute timeout. Liddy will toss out to Davis Dalton for the first down conversion. We've got a stoppage on the field.
2-minute timeout.
1:55 left in a ball game that's been controlled by Texas State. We'll be back with more at the conclusion of this ball game when we return. Man's living his best life. Good offensive performance. He had this offense, and I'll use the term ginning, to start this ball game in rhythm, right on script. You kind of alluded to it. They were running plays as if they knew what the next one was before the other one was complete. An all-around nice performance. Points on the board from their defense. They created 3 turnovers today, recovered their first fumble of the season. Elijah Metcalf catches a strike from Landry Liddy. There's no quitting Elijah Metcalf. He'll be bumped out of bounds inside the 5.
Good job by the offensive line for Southern Miss. Only rushed 3, but Liddy held on to that ball forever. Move, find Metcalf, and he does a nice job in the secondary making guys miss.
That was his 10th reception of the day for 116 yards and a touchdown. It is a handoff to Jeffrey Pittman, who is in from 2 yards out. Pushed the score from 41-7 to 41-13 on the touchdown by Southern Miss.
Good to see Pittman finding the end zone again. Familiar place for him. Just kind of a points per game touchdown for Southern Miss. Just keep the stats looking good.
7th rushing touchdown this season for Jeffrey Pittman. And the extra point try off the foot of Creighton Wilbanks is good here with 1:39 to play in the football game. Landry Liddy, that's got to feel good. Two drives in the second half that have resulted in points. A touchdown pass to Elijah Metcalf. Capped that drive off with a touchdown run for Jeffrey Pittman. You and I were talking during the break. It's just a tough performance. And it really not so much had to do with Landry Liddy, but as a quarterback, sometimes you almost feel that ownership.
You get too much
wins and losses.
You get too much credit when it goes well. You get too much blame when it goes bad. It's part of the position. I'm sure if you ask him that, he understands it. So you got to be mentally tough to play quarterback. And it's not easy to. It's not like he could improve what's already been done. So it's kind of like backing up Nick Saban. I mean, you got an undefeated team in the conference. Braylon Braxton probably going to be up for Sun Belt Player of the Year, offensively at least. So it's a tough situation.
Ball is loose on the turf, picked up by Texas State on the kickoff return. Still fighting for a few yards as the Bobcat return man. They've got all kinds of substitutions in now for Texas State. That was DJ Taylor Jr. on the return. But the semantics now for Texas State. A couple of knees to the turf. They're going to have their first Sun Belt Conference win of this season.
That's crazy to think.
Still fighting for bowl eligibility. Maybe their 4th win of the year.
I'm pretty sure when the schedule came out, I circled the Texas State game as, okay, that's going to be the point where we kind of know what Southern Miss, if they're going to be able to win the West. It's just, you just never know. And I guess a lot of that is the portal. I mean, the portal's wild. I mean, you can flip your roster so fast, and it can go the other way too. It kind of makes it exciting. You just never know.
Yeah, for certain. And I think it's important to realize too, right? Texas State, there's no quitting them as they journeyed over into Hattiesburg this weekend. And look, we've not talked a lot about the suspension ruling, but you're down 6 guys, 2 significant starters. They had all of the reason to come in here and lay down today.
Oh, yeah.
And they did nothing but that. It was.
Well, that's a tip of the cap to that man right there. I've had a chance to talk to him a little bit since we played against each other. Interviewed him maybe last year when we played against Texas State. But really happy for him, proud for him, and I hope he continues to win a lot of ball games and get the credit he deserves.
There's a lot of respect between the two guys, and Charles Huff and G.J. Kinney. Charles Huff saying it all week. I don't think it's a situation of his team overlooking a guy. It was a true situation of, he said it, this is the best offense in the Sun Belt Conference, and frankly, it's not close. And he said, look, they're going to come in here and play that way. What a performance today for that man's ball club,
Yes, sir.
TJ Kinney. For Austin Davis, for our statistician, magician Marty Wyndham, I'm Jason Baker on behalf of Lee Field, his producer, director, his entire crew. We say so long and good night. What a butt kicking in Hattiesburg from the Texas State Bobcats. They win it 41-14, their first win in the Sun Belt Conference. All is not lost for the Golden Eagles. They need to win out. They'll be in the championship if they do that task. You've been watching Sun Belt Conference football on ESPN.